Hi guys, I'm here to show you how to make these pretty two-toned flat burlap flowers. And for this one I used a natural colored and a cream colored. So you can use any colors that you want, but you get this soft, pretty effect of both of the colors. So let's get to it. For this particular project, you're going to need 2 pieces of burlap, any colors that you want, and I have cut these at 10 inches long. I tried them, it didn't work out that well, so 10 inches is my recommendation. And you're also going to need, I'm putting parchment paper down because it gets messy, you're going to need some scissors, and you're going to need hot glue. Lots of hot glue, and you do get glue on your fingers, so if you want to wear protectors, that's probably a good idea. I just have a small piece of ribbon, this is just regular ribbon, and a half bead, a half wooden bead, which is what is going to go in the center of my flower. And you're going to need a template, so I'm just going to cut a circle, and it doesn't have to be any particular size. This is probably about 1.5 inches long. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is actually almost 2 inches long, and that's going to be the template for your flower. Now I've already gone ahead and pulled the strings for time purposes. So this is what it looks like once you've pulled all of your strings. But I'm going to show you how to do that. I left some of them on this one so I can show you in case you haven't made these before. But you're going to leave this edge on the end of both sides of your burlap, and you're going to pull these vertical pieces out, and they're very easy. You're just going to grab, pull it gently, and then hold the bottom, and it slides right out. And I always say save these pieces because they actually end up making perfect tassels. So after you've pulled your pieces out, save them because you'll be able to make tassels with them later. So anyway, it's very easy and it goes very, very quickly, but you do need to pull all of the vertical pieces out of your 10-inch piece on both pieces of your burlap. Now I get my burlap at Walmart, but they do sell it at any of the craft stores. But Walmart has a very good selection of colors, and the prices are very, very good. Now these burlap strips are 5.5 inches wide, and then the length depends on the color. Now if one of your horizontal ones comes off, don't worry about it, just pull it off and discard it. Now I'm down to the edges, so that's where I need to be. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take both pieces of our burlap and we're going to glue them together using these edges. So you're just going to take your hot glue and you're going to run a bead along the top and then lay your other one right over the top of that. And you want to make sure it's down nice and tight. And like I said, you are going to get glue everywhere. So I use low temperature glue. But if you have those little protectors, that's good. I just use my multi-tool. And then just make sure it's down, and it'll stick to your parchment paper, but it comes right up. That's why I love using parchment paper to make these. It makes cleanup so much easier. So I do probably about a 2.5 inch section at a time, just to make sure that the glue doesn't dry before I get my other layer down on top of it. So it's exactly the same process as the single layer, except obviously you have 2 layers. All right, so this one is wider than my other one, so I'll have to trim that. I'm not sure how that happened, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side now. So you wanna do the top as well as the bottom. And then just lay it right on top. Try not to burn your fingers. It's really very, very easy, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead and go all the way down the length of our piece of burlap. And then we're going to glue it again, and I'll show you that in just 1 second. It goes really quickly though, y'all. Okay, so now that we've got both pieces put together, we're going to now glue both of the pieces, both of the edges again, and we're going to create a tube. So you're going to fold it down onto itself, and we're going to glue these two pieces together, just like this. Same exact process. We're just going to glue them together to create that tube, and that tube is what is going to be your petals of your flower. And don't worry if you've got glue everywhere, you can clean that up when you finish. So all the way down, same exact process. You're just gluing your two edges together. Just like that. All right, so then once we get both of the edges completely down, just want to make sure you hold it down until your glue is dry. You don't want it coming apart. Okay, then I'm going to snip off this edge. It's a little bit uneven right there, as well as this one. So now this is where our template comes in. You're going to take your template and put it down on your surface, whether you're using parchment paper or not, and then you're going to glue, you're going to make a little bead of glue around the edges of your template, and that's what you're going to glue, and you're going to glue the edge. So you're going to glue your edge to your template. Now with these with the two-tone, because it's doubled, it is much thicker and it's not as easy as the other one. You're going to have to manipulate it more and bend it and twist it. So it's a little bit more difficult than if you're only using one single layer, because it's not as easy. The only way I can say it is you're going to have to bend it and twist it and push it into your glue and hold it down to make sure that it's on there before you move on to the next piece. So I only do small pieces, like maybe a 1-inch area, and then I kind of bend my edge and push it into the glue and then hold it until I know that it's dry. Let me show you. So then it looks like this. So you're going to just follow it around, and when you get to the end where you've already been, you're just going to go right over the top and follow it around in a circle. It's not difficult, it just takes a little bit more finesse than when you're doing it with just a single layer. So now I'm gonna go right up against the other one. And then as you're going along, if you notice that your center is kind of big, you don't want it to be too big that you don't have anything that you're going to put in the center, because I want mine to be small enough that I can use this bead. So I'm going to now start putting my glue kind of on the inside of where I had it before to make my center area smaller. So that's how you kind of manipulate it. And then it's just bend and press into the glue. So again, I'm going to go right inside this area because I think I made my template a little bit too big. But now it looks like it's perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and just run right around the top now that I've made my inner circle a little bit smaller. And I'm really having to bend now that I'm getting towards the end. I'm having to do a lot more bending and pressing. But it's coming along. And I need another glue stick. So then we're just going to keep going along. We're almost done. It goes really quickly, guys. So bend and press, and bend and press till you get to the very end. And don't worry about that center part if it looks a little messy, because you're going to cover that up. And I like using half beads. Okay, so now I'm at the end, so I'm just going to hold it there and press it in, and this is what it looks like. And you're going to have glue strands everywhere, so this is where you can go in and clean them up. Okay, so now this is where you're going to take and pull your petals to getting them where you want them to be, and you can kind of pull them apart and move them so that you get this really pretty. And this one I wanted to do the yellow with the natural because I wanted it to have almost like a sunflower kind of a look. And you could also use a dark brown. Now, I like to use these half wooden beads. I get mine from Amazon. You can get them at the craft stores. And I think they're super pretty, but I took one and I colored it with some copper rub and buff because I love rub and buff. And I'm just gonna put some glue around the outside. You could use a regular bead too. It doesn't have to be a half bead. But these half beads work really nicely. You could use buttons, you could use bling, you can use anything you want in the center. But it covers up that messiness. And then you get this. I mean, how cute is that? Super simple, super easy, and the two-tone really adds a lot of dimension. And you can make them in any kind of colors to suit your decor. So that's how easy it was. So I hope you found this helpful and that this inspires you to go out and make some of your own. They're easy and they're so pretty. Anyway, thanks for watching.